everybody, welcome back to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, and here on my YouTube channel, and this time out we're going to take a look. It's another Universal Audio Luna video. This is part 5 of our beginner series where we're going to do a little bit of mixing, a little quick mixing using the Universal Audio plugins. If you did not see parts 1 through 4, where I take you right from the beginning, walk you through everything, how to set up a session, how to organize your tracks, shortcuts, so on and so forth, check the playlist in the description box below. And go check out those videos. It's really cool. So if you're someone getting into Luna for the first time, or you want to know a little bit about it or how quickly you can get up and running, this is a way to do it, because I'm not an expert in Luna. I've only used it a few times as I'm recording these videos. So you're getting kind of a real world experience of someone just getting into it for the first time, how to kind of navigate, how easy it is to kind of get up and running in Luna. So that's what we're going to do in this video. A little bit of mixing here with some Universal Audio plugins. Before we get started, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Also go out to homerecordingmadeeasy.com. We're talking about mixing, and I want to give you a free mixing course. It's $100. It's right on the homepage. You can't miss it. Big orange button. Just click on it. No strings attached. It's my gift to you just for visiting Home Recording Made Easy. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to give you something else for free. So here we are in Luna, where we left off from the last video. And we have a small session here, pretty much drums here all in orange, kick in, kick out, snare, top, bottom, hats, toms, overheads, and rooms. Got a bass DI, acoustic guitar, a couple of electric guitars, a stereo piano, and actually we could probably hide this guitar as well. We're going to try to keep this really simple. And then in the last video too, we also, let me just unmute that for 1 second. Let's mute that track and then we'll hide it. In the last video, we also created a drum bus and an electric guitar bus. I showed you how to do that by coming over here, and we routed some stuff down to buses. So now we're going to do a little mixing using the Universal Audio plugins. Next video, we'll do third-party plugins to see how Universal Audio in Luna handles third-party plugins. So here in the mixer view, we can take a look at everything. And what I like about Luna and the way this kind of works is it's like working on a real desk in a very analog channel strip kind of a fashion. So if we come over here to our console, there's a couple of things that we can do. We're going to work with the channel strip today. Now, if we come to the console view and I hit the plus button, you'll see that we have the API Vision channel strip extension, which does not come with Luna automatically. It's a paid thing. But what this is going to do, if I were to click on this, let me show you. We're going to see the Universal Audio or the Vision channel strip here in a channel strip configuration. And if I put my mouse over this here and I kind of scroll down, we can see the entire channel strip, which is kind of cool. We have an input section of the channel strip, which includes our preamp, sorry about that, and our low and high cut filters. We have the dynamic gate section, and then we have the EQ section, very handy. This is exactly what it looks like when you look down at the API Vision console, which is kind of cool. We also over here on the left have an exploded view of all the sections, so you can look at the whole channel strip here all at once, which is kind of nice. So you can either work in this mode where you click through the 3 different sections of the channel strip and work on a channel by channel basis, or you can look at it this way. If we want to add that across all of our tracks, all we would do is hit copy, and then we'll take this little green arrow right above here and we'll just left click and drag. Let's just look at our drums for now. And then it pastes, and now we have them all right here in front of us. Very handy, very cool. No plugin windows to open. You just go from one to the other. And if I were to select our different tracks here, as we select our different tracks, you'll see that over here on the left-hand side, this channel strip corresponds to the track that is selected. Really cool. So this is one way to do it. So we can start off here, and we can, start off on our inputs, right, on all of these, if we wanted to do that. Let me just show you how easy it is to kind of work from this view. Okay, so if we were to loop a section, let's go Command equals, and we were to loop a section here of drums. Let's just kind of loop a section. Here we go, and then we'll turn on our loop button here. We'll go back here. Now also keep in mind that when you're in this view, the edit view, you can see the channel strip here for the selected track. So as I select our tracks, you can see our Vision channel strip. So you don't have to work in this screen if you don't want to. You can work in this screen because you still have the side panel and you still have the focus mode right here, and you could do everything right here if you choose to. If you don't want to see the side panel here, we can just close that and you can just see your track list and you can work this way. Or once again, if we were to click on this, it'll open up our side view. So there's many ways to do this depending on how you like to work. Traditionally in other DAWs, I like to work in this screen. I'm just used to it. So let's start with our kick-in mic and let's just kind of play around and let me show you. Okay, so we can bump up the preamp a little bit. We could use the high pass filter or low cut filter here, which is kind of cool. Then we can go to our EQ. Let's say we wanted the EQ before our dynamics. We can hit this little button that says pre-dynamics. We could turn our EQ on down here, and now it'll be prior to the compressor. So here is our 3-band EQ here. Let's mess around with this a little bit. Okay, so from that to a little boost at 50 hertz, a little boost at 7K. Now, we also can change the type of EQ that we're using. This happens to be the 550. If we hit the type button, this brings us to the graphic EQ for the 560. So you have different EQs here. So what's cool about the extension is you have two different types of EQs. Everything kind of works in channel strip mode. Now we'll want to go to our dynamics and compress this a little bit. We have our gate here and we have our compressor. Okay, a little bit of compression there gives us a little bit of bottom end, tightens it up a little bit. If we want to use the gate, again, I'm not usually a big fan of gates, but on this gate, it seems to work pretty good here. So if I use like kind of a normal style, let me see if I can get a gate that kind of works decently. Let's see. Cuts a lot of that snare bleed out. I kind of like that. So again, as we're turning the knobs here, you'll also see that the knobs are turning here on the, obviously on the side panel, right? So the side panel view is going to reflect what channel we have selected in our console, regardless, okay? So that's our kick in. So let's go to our kick out. So we can come over here, and again, we can go back to the beginning to the, let's mute this for a second, or get rid of that. Let's solo up the kick out and see what this does. So boost at 50 hertz, it'll take out a little 240. I'm going to try to go kind of quick just to demonstrate, because that's what really this is. But again, it's kind of quick. It's kind of nice. So if we now unsolo, we'll just solo up this and this. Okay, not bad. Let's go to compression on this, and let's see if we can compress this kick out mic a little bit. Doesn't sound like we need to use the gate, but let's do a little compression. All right, so you can bypass the compressors right there. So there's our kick in and our kick out. I mean, that's pretty quick, right? So you can, again, you don't have to be closing and opening a bunch of plugin windows. It's all right in front of you. That's one of the things I really like about this. I'll tell you what I don't like about this in a few seconds. Let's do our snare. Let's keep moving now. Okay, there we go. We got EQ dynamics and preamp. Let's go to our snare bottom. Now this time we can maybe work from the side panel just to see, again, it's all exploded, so you don't have to click on the 3 little tabs at the top. But again, it's all how you like to work. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so there's kick snare. Let's go to our overheads and let's check that out. Okay, let's go to our rooms. Let's check out our rooms here. Let's mute the overheads here for a second. Maybe compress the rooms a little bit. And again, I know I'm not walking through the controls of this because I'll do that in the next, when you can see this a little bit bigger. Let me just finish this up here. Okay, so it's that fast how you can go through this. Now, we didn't do the hats and the toms. Let's do the hats quickly. Let's just do some basic stuff here. So Okay, so there's our drums. Okay, we'll bag the toms for this just because we're just doing an example here. Okay, so that's how you can easily do this. You never had to open up a plugin window. Everything is right in front of you. Here's what I don't like about it. What I don't like about it is the fact that look how small this is. It's hard. I'm working on a 27-inch Apple Studio monitor, really good high resolution 5K or whatever it is. And you can see it, but it's tiny. And even with this exploded view on the left-hand side, it's tiny. So, but you have this, you know, again, maybe you can blow up the screen. You could sit a little bit closer. You could do all that stuff. I wish there was a way that you can blow up this channel strip so it was a little bit larger. Like if you shrunk down your faders, and now you can see the whole channel strip. But maybe there was a way to make this bigger, or I wish this was bigger on the left-hand side. I don't know of a way to do that, but you may say, well, it's the only extension that we have available to us as of the recording of this video, June 1st, 2023, is this API extension, right? But there's a way around it if you still want to use the API, because when you buy the extension, you also have available to you in your Universal Audio account the regular Universal Audio Vision channel strip used as an insert that you can use natively. Let me show you that. So if we come over to our base here, that'll be our next thing. Okay, so instead of putting it here, what we can do is we can shrink down our console view. We can go to our insert view, okay? And what we can do is we can add, I don't know, will this blow up? No, this is actually this. It puts it as an insert, but what we can do is I can click this. Did I click it here? Yeah, this. And I can search for Vision, whoops, or just API. And under UADX, you'll see as the Spark or your native, I have the Vision channel strip, right? API Vision right here. Now watch what happens. Look how nice this looks. Okay, look how much bigger this is. It's the same channel strip. And what's good about this is I can also click this little thing and I could even explode it even bigger. So if I'm working on a laptop, or if I'm working on a big TV, a big 60-inch set, or anything in between, I can work this way. This is much easier to see. It's the same exact thing. Let me close this. As this, but you can see it larger. The only difference is this doesn't seem to have an output fader. It doesn't have an output fader where this one does, and this is a little bit more convenient, better for level matching, but it's the same thing, and that's why I like it. And so you can use this instead. So you can close this and you can say, okay, on our base and we can just copy again, and we can just drag this across a couple of tracks. So let's do 2, 3, 4. Let's just drag that across there and hit paste. And now I have on my base of my 3 guitar tracks. So let's open this up and now let's work from here. Now, the only problem about this, or the only downside if there is one, and maybe Universal Audio will fix this in an update, is that you see right now I have the bass DI plugin open. If I want to go to the next one, which is acoustic guitar, if I just select the acoustic guitar track, the plugin doesn't switch along with it like it does in every other DAW. That stinks. If this now switched to the next plugin and I never had to open and close the plugin window, that would be ideal. It doesn't do that, at least not as of yet. If Universal Audio ever watches this video, that would be very handy, not only for this channel strip, but for any plugin, because that keeps you from having to close and open plugin windows on every track. Nevertheless, here's our bass. Well, that's our bass. Okay, let's turn that down. Let's do a pad here and let's get a little bit of grit. Let's try that. again, if I bypass the plugin, I can use the fader now to kind of level match before and after. You don't get that with the other extension. So here's our acoustic guitar. Yeah, so the drag of this setup is you have to open and close every plugin window, as I said. But outside of that, it's much easier to work on this than it is to work on that little channel strip, as I mentioned. So again, you can work very quickly once you understand the layout of the channel strip. This is not taking a long time at all, right? Okay, now lastly, we got our piano track. So again, now we can either use the extension or we can use a different plugin. So if I want to just move over a plugin again, if I just hit copy and I just drag this one over and then hit paste, there we go. And now we have our piano here. Same kind of thing. Now, because I took a plugin that was already had a bunch of settings done on the track prior, it copies all the settings, obviously. And just that quick, you've got bass, drums, 3 guitars and a piano mixed. I mean, what did that take? Maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes? I mean, so it's very quick. So what I like about this whole workflow, and again, as I've said in the other videos, it's very clean. It's a clean setup. There's not a lot of clutter, buttons all over the place. It's a really simple, clean setup. So you can either work in this view if you like. And again, I wish they would make this so you can, when you click this button, instead of just having this, maybe have the whole channel strip just kind of explode or widen out. And then when you go to the next track, shrink, or this should be bigger. If this was, you know, like there's a lot of dead space down here. If this was longer and a little wider, it would be easier to use. So that for, at least for this example, I kind of like, this is nice, but it's hard to see. I much rather work with this. The only thing is, as I said, when you switch tracks down on the console from one track to the other, this plugin does not advance. That would be very, very helpful. But this is just one way to do it, right? If you don't have to use the Vision channel strip, you can use anything by Universal Audio, right? If you want to use, or any, in this example, Universal Audio, because those are the plugins we're using, you use this just like any other insert. You can use any other channel strip that you might have. So like on your drum bus, for example. And when we do this, by the way, we put our extension on here. The other thing that we did when we did our drum bus, if you remember back in the last video, we have our API summer here as well. Which is really cool. And if you remember on our master bus here, on our main outs, we didn't do anything here, but we could add our summing here. We have our API or our Neve summer, depending on which one you have. And then again, here we have our master tape machine that we could put on. We could put tape machines here on the buses or on the master. So on the master, if we click this, we could put our ATR 102, which I already own by Universal Audio, and that'll open this up. Listen to that nice little low end bump we get just by putting this on. It's on 15 IPS per second. We're using whatever the default is. We're using 1/2 inch tape. We could change I like to use 1/4 inch tape on the master bus. It's going to give it a little bit more bump. And you can change the tape type and all of that, but this is really, really nice. And you see it right down here. You can bypass it, turn it on and off here. You can change the main parameters right here. So if you don't want to use the side window and you want to close this, you can do that. Really cool. We can also, on our master bus, let's say we want to use on our console here, you can see the buses are different from the channels. We can put our API 2500, which is part of the Vision extension. It gives you the channel strip, the 2500. We could put that on our master bus, right? And we get an exploded view here, just like we did on the channel strip. Also, too, we can see it down here, where again, we could change all the parameters here in a channel strip view, however you want to work. So again, you can work on it here, but again, this seems a little small to me. What you could have done, same thing with the channel strip. If you own the 2500 compressor, you could have very easily, under the inserts, I could have just done this and I could have just said API 2500, and I could have used, I also have, here it is. So I could have put it here if you wanted to. It's the same compressor, laid out a little different, but once again, you can blow it up, you can shrink it down. It's much easier to work on for me than working in this way. So you have an opportunity to do it however you like, which is what I really like about this. It's really great. And again, if you didn't want to use API, we could have put any compressor here from Universal Audio or a third-party plugin, depending on what you have on your system. So that's how quick this is to really mix. And I mean, you know, it's really, really fast, which is what I like. It's really, really fast. And I'm doing everything with just a mouse and a keyboard. So hope you enjoyed this look here at a quick little mixing demonstration using the Universal Audio Vision extension and the channel strip, just so you can see how this kind of works. Again, next video, we'll do this same session, but instead of using anything Universal Audio, we'll use third-party plugins, Slate Digital Waves. We'll see how Universal Audio kind of reacts and how its stability is, if, you know, or not, with third-party plugins, and we'll do that. So thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. As I said at the beginning, I want to give you something else for sticking around. So again, go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, get that free mixing course. It's right on the homepage. Click that orange button. It's $100. Free of charge, no strings attached. You watch that video, you dig Uncle Dave's style of teaching, and you want to take one of my other courses on the website, I want to give you a 25% discount coupon code at checkout. Use the coupon YouTube25. That'll take 25% off on any course on the website. Once again, leave comments below. Let me know what you think about Universal Audio Luna. Like, share, subscribe. And until the next video, I've been Dave with homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.